So this is part 7 for our mathematics review focusing on factoring polynomials. So we start with this one. We factor completely 9x squared minus 4y squared. So there are two terms. So this is a binomial, and we try to check the numbers. 9 is a perfect square number, 4 is a perfect square number, and we have x squared and y squared are also perfect square terms. So it would mean that we are going to factor this using the difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. So our factors would be 3x. So factors of 9x squared are 3x and 3x. Factors of 4y squared are 2y and 2y. So since we have a difference of two squares, when we multiply 2y and 2y, it should give us a negative 4y. So it would mean that we will have a plus a minus. So let's try to check if our answer is correct. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Positive 2y and negative 2y is negative 4y squared. So our answer is 3x plus 2y times 3x minus 2y. Our second number is 12y squared plus 7y minus 12. So since there are choices that we have here, so what we will be doing is just look at the choices and check if it will give us the terms that are found in the given. So we start with the first one. So the first and the last term is correct. That's 6y times 2y is 12y, and 2 times 3 is 12. To check if it will give us the middle term, we will just have to get the sum of the outer terms. So 6 times 3 is 18. That's 18y. And negative 4 times 2y is negative 8y. So it will not give us 7y because the sum of the terms, the products, is 10y. So let's move to our letter B. 6 times 3 is negative 18. And it's just the opposite of the first choice, and the middle term, 4 times 2 is 8y. So it will give us negative 10y. So B is not our option. So our C, 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And 3 times 3y is 9y. So this time it gives us a negative 7y. But our answer, our given, gives us a positive 7y. It means that C is not the answer, but it's D. So let's try to check if it's really D. 4y times 4 is 16y, and negative 3 times y is negative 9y. So this time it gives us positive 7y. So our answer is letter D. Okay, so this is just similar to the previous number. So we have solved it earlier. The answer for this one is letter C, because 4y times negative 4y is negative 16y, and 3 times 3y is 9y. So that gives us a negative 7y. Okay, so we have here uh, two terms, and 36 is a perfect square, and 49 is a perfect square, and we have x squared and y squared are both perfect square terms. So what we will be doing is just to factor the first and the last. So we'll have the factors of this one is, we're sure that we start with 6x and the last will be 7y. So, but our middle term here is actually 0. So we are sure that a will not give us a 0 term because it's difference of two terms. No, a square of a binomial, and letter C is also square of a binomial. And letter B, that's negative 42y. That's negative 42xy. And the middle term is a positive 42 to xy. So it will give us a 0, and our answer is letter B. So we have again two terms here, two terms, but in this case the first and the second terms are not perfect square, so we'll have to have a different strategy in solving this one. So is there something common? So you will be asking yourself, is there something common between the first and the second term? If our answer is yes, then what would be the common term, or what would be the common factor? So in here our common factor is 10. So we will have to eliminate now A and C. So if our common factor is 10, then we will have to divide each term by 10. 20x divided by 10 is 2x, and this is correct. And minus 10 divided by 10 is 1. So it would mean that our answer is B. We cannot choose letter D because if we multiply 10 and 2x, that will only give us 20x. So our answer is B. Okay, factor completely. This time we have three terms, 1, 2, and 3. So again, we start always when you are factoring, you always have to ask. That's the very first thing that you will ask yourself. Is there something common among all the terms? So we have 64, 16, and 24. Is there something common among the three? The answer is yes. So what is common? What is the common factor of 64, 16, and 24? The answer is 8. But are there common terms? For the variables, for the letter coefficients? Is there something common, or are there common terms? Yes. So to get the common of all the variables, or the letter coefficient, we always have to look at the smallest exponent. So for x, that's 3, and for y is 2. So it would mean that our um, common factor is 8 x cubed y squared, but we'll have to check if uh, the terms, the other factors would give us the same answer. So 64 divided by 8 is 8. This is right. X to the ninth divided by x cubed. So we'll just have to subtract the exponent. 9 minus 3 is 6. That's right. 9 minus 2 is 7. That's correct. Minus 16 divided by 8 is 2. This is correct. And x cubed divided by x cubed, that's 1. So it will not appear there because 2 times 1 is just 2. And 7 minus 2 is 5. So, and minus, bring down, 24 divided by 8 is 3. That's correct. And x to the 7 minus 3 is 4. This is correct. And y squared divided by y squared is just 1. So our answer here is letter C. So if there are choices, do the elimination. Don't disregard already the other choices if you can see that 1 or 2 are already close to your answer. Next. Okay. So here there are 4 terms: 4x, 48, xy, and 12. So what we need to do here is we are going to do the factoring by grouping. So we just group them. So when you do the grouping, you'll have to leave the operation in between. So just like what I said earlier, you have to start asking, within the grouping that you created, is there something common? So is there something common between 4x and 48? The answer is yes. There is something common between 4 and 48, and that is 4. 4 is common, so you take that out. 4x divided by 4 is x. 48 divided by 4 is 12. Close. Don't forget the plus sign. In xy and 12y, is there something common? The answer is yes. So, xy divided by y is actually x, and 12y divided by y is 12. So if you can see, 12 x plus 12 is actually common. So we just have to factor that out. X plus 12 out, and then we just need to copy x plus 4y, which gives us our answer for letter B. Okay, we move on to our next number. Okay, the same process we do here, factoring by grouping. So our given has 4 terms. We have xy minus 5yz plus 7x minus 35z. So is there something common between xy and 5yz? Yes, y is common. So take out y, and we're left with x minus 5z plus something common between 7x and 35z. The answer is yes, and it's 7. And you're left with 7. 7x divided by 7 is x, and minus 35z minus 7 is 5z. So 5z. So 5z is common. You have to take out x minus 5z. So where's the x minus 5z here? X minus 5z is here. So let's try to see. You're left with y plus 7. So we have y plus 7 here. So that's option T. Next. This time we have 3 terms. X squared plus 7x plus 10. So we're going to factor this can do trial and error or factoring trinomials. So factors of x squared are x in x. And then for the last term, you will have to think of the factors of 10 that gives you a sum of 7. So there are only two factors of 10. That's 10 and 1 and 5 and 2. So between the two, only this part that gives you a sum of 7. So that's 2 and 5. And your clue for the signs would be this is positive and the third term is also positive. It means that you will have to have positive signs. So going over the choices, our answer is C. Next. Again, we have a trinomial. So the same process as the previous number. Think of the factors of x squared, that's only x in x, and factors of 36 that gives you a sum of 9. So factors of 36, that's 36 and 1, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. So among the 5 factors, we have only 4 and 9, which will give you a sum of 13. So we have 9 and 4. So for our sign, this is positive. That means that our signs here will be the same because when you multiply the two, it will give you the same. It will give you a positive answer. But this is negative. It means that you will have a minus and a minus because negative 9 times negative 4 is positive 36 and negative 9 plus negative 4 gives you negative 13. So answer is B. Okay, next is still three terms, factors. So the same process again. We just create the parentheses, factors of a squared. That's a and a. Factors of 28 that gives you a difference. Difference this time because this is um, minus 28 and 1, 2 and 14, and you have 7 and 4. So it will be 7 and 4. That will give you a difference of 3. So you will have 7b and 3b. So to determine the signs, this is negative. So the last term is negative. It means 7b and 3b will have a different sign. But you'll have to consider the middle term. The middle term has a negative sign or a minus sign. It means that the bigger term will have, or the term with a larger numerical coefficient will have the minus sign, and that is 7b. So 3b here will have a plus sign. So negative 7b times, oops, it should not be 7, but it should be 4b. So negative 7b times 4b is negative 28b. And negative 7 plus 4 gives you a negative 3. So answer is letter A. Next one. So again we have choices here. So all we need to do is just, without really going through the process, we can just do the checking. 7 times 1, that's 7x 11. So just check. So I think all terms here start with the sign. So positive and positive, it means you will have to have all positive. So x, because it has a negative, and you will have to x this one. And next is we are going to check the middle term. 7 times 1 is 7x, and 11 times x is 11x, and it will not give us a 78x. So we'll check letter C. 7 times 11x is 77x, and 1 times x is 1x, and it will give us, if we add the 2, it gives us 78x. So our answer would be letter C. Next, so again we will be um, going over on this one. So 3, so I think the last term, the first and the last will give us uh, the correct answer. So we'll have to check the middle term. So 3x times 5x, that's 15x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and it will give us a difference of 13x. So letter A is not the correct answer. 3 times 2 is 6x, and negative 5 times 2 is negative 5x. It will also not give us the correct answer because it gives us negative, no, it's a 1x. Next is negative 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x, and 2 times x is positive 2x, and it will not give us uh, an 11x, but is negative 13x. So it means that our only answer there is letter D. So it's a prime, meaning there are no factors um, that will make 3x squared minus 11x minus 10 doesn't have any factor. Next, we have x plus 20x plus 10, or 100. So we have all positive signs, so we'll have to eliminate all answers with negative sign. And we'll have to check now our middle term if it will give us a 20x. So that's 10x plus 10x. So 10x plus 10x. Will that give us 20x? The answer is a yes. So answer is letter C. Next. So this time we have two terms. A negative, um, a difference in 16. X squared is a perfect square term and 25 is a perfect square term. So if you will see two terms only, and the first and the last terms are perfect square terms, automatic, you will have uh, uh, so here we'll have to eliminate the positive, this one, because it will not give us two terms. Having the same signs will not also give us um, binomial product, but a trinomial. So A and C will have a trinomial answer. So the only possible answer that we can have would be letter B. So if you have a difference of two terms, it's not prime. So for 4x times 4x is 16x squared. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25, while 4x times 5 is 20x, and negative 5 times 4x is negative 20x. So that gives us a zero answer, a zero middle term. So our answer is letter B. Okay, the same process this time. We have a perfect square term. X to the fourth is perfect square because the exponent is even, and 81 is also a perfect square term. And yes, it will give us a plus and a minus. So there should be, but it's not A because this will give us a trinomial answer. Also, letter D will give us trinomial answer. Uh, it's also, there's something wrong here. It should be 2. It should be 2 there. That should be 2, not um, 4. So our answer will be, let's factor first here, x squared minus 9. Let's make it plus 9, and x squared minus 9. X squared minus 9 is still a perfect square term, which can still be further factored to x plus 9 and x minus 3. So the complete factor of x to the fourth minus 81 is x squared plus 9 times x plus 3 times x minus 3. So it's not also prime because it has factors. So I hope that you were able to get uh, the process of factoring polynomials. So this is part 7, the 7th video of the mathematics review. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated with the future videos. Thank you so much and have a good day.